Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's gemstone video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to cleanse your crystals. In this video, I'm going to briefly run you through the reasons why you need to cleanse your crystals, also the different methods you can use, and then I will show you a mini tutorial of how I actually do it and what I prefer to do. So the reason you want to cleanse your crystals, you might be someone who doesn't want to cleanse them, doesn't feel the need to, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just giving you an explanation of why I personally like to do it. So basically, if you are buying a new crystal, so you're either buying it online or you're buying it inside a gem shop, you don't know who else has touched that crystal. So as a crystal collector myself, this is like a little bit OCD thing for me, is that knowing or thinking that someone else held that crystal before me that may have unwanted negative energy. So you don't really want anyone holding your crystal that absorbed negative energy into the crystal, if that makes sense. So if you're kind of like a believer of like negative vibes and that kind of thing, you only want to put like positive vibes into your crystals. So hopefully I'm explaining that quite well. So basically, yeah, if anyone touched the crystal before you, you basically want to cleanse it of any unwanted negative energy that it may have absorbed in that time. Some people like to cleanse the crystals if they believe the person that held it might have been ill, they might not be a nice person. It can be all these certain things that the person potentially absorbed into that crystal. So yeah, that is pretty much the reason why you want to cleanse crystals, is just because of who held them before you. So obviously, like when you're buying something new and you're bringing it into your home, you want to sort of bless it with like your energy, and that's basically what you're doing with the crystal. Is when you are bringing it home, you basically want to make the crystal yours. So if you think of it in a form of like cleaning like your home or something like that, it's like you're literally cleaning a crystal that you've literally just bought. And cleansing your crystals is down to you, like a personal preference, how much you want to cleanse them, if you don't want to cleanse them, how often. It's all down to personal preference. So for me personally, I cleanse my crystals when I first get them, and I have a lot of crystals, so it's not like I'm obsessed with cleansing crystals. Like a lot of them are stored away, a lot of them I don't use. They're there for like decorative purposes or collective purposes. So a lot of crystals I have stored away are initially not crystals I use or I haven't used yet. So they're the kind of crystals that, you know, I don't tend to do the routine of cleansing all the time. However, there are other crystals that I have out on display, ones that I have that I use like to work with. Those are the crystals that I would cleanse quite a lot. So depending on what I use my crystals for, so if I'm using them for like tarot reading, my oracle cards, any sort of like healing guidance work, or when I'm putting my intentions into them, so if I'm setting myself goals and I feel like they've been reached or not, it's kind of like I cleanse my crystals when I just basically want to program them into something different. So I will do a whole separate video of how to like charge your crystals and all that kind of stuff. So this is simply going to be a cleansing video, so don't want to get off topic, but I'm just telling you when I cleanse my crystals. Just in case people think it's like a chore, it's just down to you when you want to do it. So say like it's like spring cleaning day, it's like spring like crystal cleansing day. Yeah, you can use your crystal cleansing freely as you choose. So there are a lot of methods to cleanse crystals. So again, this is something that is down to the person, the individual, what they choose to cleanse them with. So there are quite a few ones that I personally don't enjoy. I don't like to do them, and I don't feel like they benefit me or the crystals in any way. So the first one is Moonlight. So basically you can cleanse and charge your crystals under the moonlight. So you can either put them on your window ledge at night, or you can go in your garden, you can lay them out, you can bury them under the ground if you wish. Personally, I don't think the full moon does necessarily cleanse my crystals. Even though it is contact, I feel like it is not direct contact, and I am a very visual person. I like to visualize things and I like to do things, so I feel like under the moonlight is not necessarily me cleansing my crystals. So again, that is just a method for me that personally doesn't work. So for me personally, I do not want to leave my crystals in my garden for like neighbours to steal or like foxes to sniff. And I know these are like really weird examples, but like I just wouldn't leave them out at night, like I just wouldn't. Which again leads to the second thing you can do, which is the earthy thing to do, is to bury them in the ground. I believe you can bury your crystals for like 24 hours, few days, few weeks, whatever you feel best of how long you want to cleanse them under there for. Again, I don't really want to make my crystals dirty or be around any kind of insects, or I don't know, any kind of, I don't know, I just don't like the thought of leaving my crystals outside where, you know, I can't see what's happening to them in a way. So yeah, again, it's not a method that is for me, but if you are very drawn to like the moon, the earth, nature, that kind of thing, then you will love the outdoors and to cleanse your crystals in that kind of way. So other people like to use sunlight to cleanse or charge crystals, which again, this is another method. Like the moon, you're basically leaving it in the sun. So I've heard that you can leave them on the window ledge and let the sun rays naturally hit the stones. This is a nice easy method, but I don't like to do it because a lot of crystals can actually lose their colour from the sun. So you want to be really careful with what stones you leave on that window ledge in that sunlight. So the stones that will lose their colour in direct sunlight is aventurine, amethyst, apatite, aquamarine, beryl, citron, calcite, celestite, punzite, sapphire, fluorite, rose quartz, smoky quartz, opal and topaz. So those are the stones, roughly from the top of my head, that you do not want to leave in the sun. So I've also heard that you can put a crystal in a geode and that will cleanse a crystal inside a geode, which I think is quite interesting. I haven't tried it myself, but yeah, I've heard that's a method. I've also heard the method of brown rice in a bowl, and you basically layer the brown rice, you put your crystals in and you put more brown rice on top, and you leave that for a certain period of time, and that is meant to traditionally like cleanse the crystals. You can also give salt baths to your crystals to cleanse them, but there are certain crystals you don't want to mix with salt. So when I'm using water, I will use like natural water without any like salt or anything in it. And there are also ways to cleanse them with like sound. I don't know too much about that, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, but apparently you can use sound to cleanse the crystals. Also, another quick method is just simply holding a crystal in your hand. So yeah, just for example, you can hold a crystal in your hand like this, and you can do this for like 5-10 minutes, however you feel you need. Close your eyes and imagine like white light going through the crystal, running all the way through it, the purest light, the purest energy, and that will basically, if you clear your mind to like meditate in that kind of way and think about cleansing the crystal, that is meant to actually cleanse the crystals. So that is another method where you don't need any fancy stuff, just your own mind and your own visualization of that the crystal is cleansed, and that will initially your belief will make you believe like your crystal is kind of cleansed, if that makes sense. So the mind is like a powerful thing. So not all stones can go in water, so if you are doing a salt bath or you are running your crystals under tap water, basically yeah, you can't put certain stones in water. So I'll quickly mention the stones that you can't put underwater. So you can't put malachite, selenite, lapis lazuli, fluorite, calcite, desert rose, labradorite, howlite, turquoise amber, moonstone, kyanite and angelite. So those are just a few of the stones that you can't put in water. So I'd say always look up on Google what stones you can put in water and what ones you can't. I like to use methods where there aren't so many rules or risks to my crystals. A lot of people use like sage or smudging to like cleanse their crystals. I prefer incense sticks. So basically incense sticks are my favourite to use when cleansing. Like I said, I'm a very visualist. I like to visualise the cleansing happening, and I really do get a sense of like peace and clarity when I do this. It really does put my mind at ease, and it's just a really relaxing kind of method and experience for me. So I actually do really enjoy cleansing my crystals. It's just finding the time to do it, but I do really enjoy it. So yeah, I will show you my method. So you also need a good workspace to cleanse crystals, so you might need quite a bit of room to do so if you have a lot. So I'm going to show you the sticks I use. So I use incense sticks of sandalwood. And sandalwood is a recommended incense stick for cleansing, and it's probably because sandalwood is obviously like a natural like material, so obviously again forming back to nature, this is why we want to cleanse our crystals with sandalwood. I'm using a incense stick holder, so this will catch any like residue, and yeah, I'm basically going to light the top of it. And I have some small crystals and a big crystal, so I'm going to show you basically the same thing. It has to take my large calcite. I'm going to place it above where the incense stick is burning, and I like to do this against my computer on a black screen because I can clearly see the smoke like running like upwards, if that makes sense. But as you can see what I'm doing here, I'm just holding it. A lot of people like to just like whisk it around or use like a wand to sort of like move the smoke over the crystals. Mine is a bit more indirect, but I just like this process. So yeah, what I would do is I'll hold the crystal just like this, and if you can see, the smoke is running around the crystal. It almost looks like it is like going through the crystal. It's actually so pleasing to watch, I can't explain it, but it really does look like it's going right through the crystal. And what you want to do when you're doing this is, in your head you want to think about clearing away negative energy from this stone. So I will hold it, and in my head I will just think about my intention to clean it, and that's all I do. I just think in my head to cleanse this crystal from negative energy and for it to be used for the highest good. So it's literally all I do. And the visualization for me, I really see the smoke going through the crystal, out the other end, and washing away all those negative vibes. So it is just, like I say, just pleasing to the mind really. And I turn the crystals around as well, and you want to hold your crystal for like 10 to 30 seconds, so you don't have to do this for long at all. I'm just showing you the method of how I cleanse big stones. So with the smaller pieces, again it's just simple. I will take clear quartz and I will just hold it here. Obviously you want to be careful you don't drop it. A lot of crystals have flown out of my hand sometimes, so I don't know if that's the crystals not liking me, but yeah, you just want to be careful when you are cleansing smaller stones. And it's just a really peaceful experience because you are kind of closing your mind off to the world, thinking about just crystals, cleansing, and just that peaceful quietness is just really pleasing. So yeah, if you are like me and like a visualist, you will just find this really satisfying. So I'm just being quiet for a few seconds just so you can get the idea of what I mean when I say it's just really peaceful. So yeah, I really love the smell of the sandalwood as well, and so yeah, that is how I cleanse them with my incense stick. So another method of cleansing is using a natural selenite mountain or tower. So I have one here and it's absolutely beautiful, almost looks like a mirror. This is a really high vibrational stone, and this is amazing for cleansing other crystals. So how you want to use your selenite, you can wave your selenite around your crystals and the stone's strong energy will cleanse them. You can get small selenite wands to do this, or you can use like a big piece like this. Me personally, I just use this to place around my crystals. So in my room, I will have this surrounding all my other stones, so in the hope that that will sort of cleanse them. So there are also other stones that are like self-cleansing that do not need to be cleansed, but you may feel the need to still cleanse them. So I have heard that a citrine is self-cleansing, as is a clear quartz. And I've also heard that a carnelian and a kyanite are self-cleansing, so If you want to look up what stones cleanse themselves, you can do that as well. There are other stones that basically will cleanse other stones basically. Next I'm going to show you how I use water, and like I said, I don't use anything but just water. So I've just filled my rose quartz bowl up with water, and it has my 12 crystals in here, which are the ones that I use for like tarot oracle card readings, if I'm doing any kind of like healing or insight work. These are the crystals I use. I've had these for many years, so they're very special to me. So these ones are the ones that I leave out on display in this bowl, like, so I can just carry the bowl around. It's very easy. So if I do want to cleanse them, I can just like fill it up with water from the tap and leave them like for a few hours or overnight, however I feel. And then yeah, you can just take them out and let them dry. So yeah, that is a way you can just use water, is by doing that. I don't live by a river, so I don't use like these natural river streams or anything like that to cleanse my crystals. So that is the only time I will leave crystals in water, is typically these ones, when I can't be asked to basically place them individually under tap water. But now I'll show you how you can cleanse crystals under a tap. This is how I would cleanse them under a tap. I would just rinse them for a few minutes, and it just really does feel like it's washing away any sort of negative energy. So again, it's a nice visual cleansing technique, and it's really simple and quick and easy to do. So yeah, that is my demonstration of my two favourite ways to cleanse crystals, which is with sandalwood incense sticks and also under running tap water. I do use the incense method a bit more, just because it's like a, you know, I feel like I can just sit down and chill. Both methods work really well for me. I feel like they are visually cleansing those crystals. But yeah, I think that is absolutely everything I needed to say on crystal cleansing and what I do. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you how I do it, how you can do it, the other ways. You know, it's all, like I said, it's down to you how you want to do it. But yeah, I really do love and enjoy cleansing crystals. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see how I like charge my crystals or how I program them, those videos should be coming up as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.